weeding.
That's dwarf right there.
Them's dwarves, yes.
That's dwarves.
And this is Dwarf Fortress. People a little bit to come in, but
Dwarf.
we're gonna play some dwarves.
Dwarf.
Yes, I have been playing Dwarf Fortress extremely off and on since the 2D days, before Z levels existed in here. So I've had not played it probably in like 6 or 7 years when this game was when it was announced that it was getting a Steam version with like a graphical update. But it's, you know, I have some concept of what goes on with it, and I think it's a really fun game that lets you do some really stupid things and also lets some really stupid things happen to you. So let's say we go into it.
Losing is fun, I hear.
That is, in fact, the catchphrase.
I would never beware elephants there, my friend.
So I do have a fort that exists right now, but I figure we might as well just start ourselves off by generating a world, a new world.
That's a lot of words.
Oh, there's a lot of words there. This is basically just like play Dwarf Fortress. Welcome to Dwarf Fortress.
Sure.
The big things here are just, you know, you can tweak the parameters of the world. These are just the defaults. I'm good with making a high mineral world because dwarves love minerals.
Weird.
Don't know if there's anything in particular that we would want to put up or down. Also, there's there are a few settings that you can get into.
Good lord.
If you feel.
Nope, nope. Safe zone.
See, this doesn't seem so bad anymore.
This is a safe zone now, yes.
Like, number of beasts would probably mean more wild animal type stuff. I would also say that I don't know too much of how a lot of this stuff is, you know, what it affects and where it goes. We can roll a normal world now and see what happens. Oh yeah, there's also mods. But not too much. I think the big thing is right now just, yeah, like restore old graphical type stuff. But anyway. Dwarf Fortress is sort of not something that you play to get good at. It's something you play to have funny stories to tell people. And I think that that's like a really important piece of the fact that it is kind of impossible to know what the fuck to do until it gets you killed. So, this is now generating a world for us.
Oh.
It will run through, like, basically it makes the world first, and then it runs through however many years of history you put in. We put in 100, because that's the standard. And then it just lets, like, a bunch of civilizations grow and have history happen.
Sins of the disloyalty of gods founded Ruthly.
So an important thing about this game is that all of the names are generated, and they're so wonderful.
Vegetation of mirrors.
Well, we got a forgotten beast who was struck down, so that's probably good. Alright. So we can basically go on from there. We've got ourselves a world now. It's that easy. You can simulate like hundreds or even thousands of years of history in this. And just see shit that happens. We do, of course, have to save the world.
Sure.
It did spend all that effort creating several civilizations and history and running history for them, so now it needs to actually put that into a nice package, and then it'll start running time for us, and we will get to pick a place to put our fortress.
I do have to run time.
I believe the tutorial allows you, like basically picks a good spot for you. We'll take a look around. So Adventurer mode is not in yet. It is the roguelike version of Dwarf Fortress, which does exist and even lets you visit your old fortresses if you want. But we're here for Fortress mode anyway. Alright, so yes, we're a fortress located in a forested, mineral-rich region of this world where you can play through a short tutorial, non-interactive. Help will be available whenever you decide. I will probably skip this for now. It picks a location on this map for you if you do this, but, you know, it doesn't always have... Like, it'll basically, there's a whole bunch of stuff listed in all of these things, and those will have some pretty big... implications for how your playthrough goes, so we'll kind of take a look around. Please heed the embark warnings about aquifers, salt water, and other hazards. But that could be part of the fun. So it's basically like, if you don't know what you're doing, please. You sure you don't want to do the tutorial? It's okay. Alright, WASD is the big move around stuff in this.
The question is, do you know what you're doing?
That's a fascinating question, frankly. Kind of see we got some mountains and forests around here. Got very deep soil out here in the ocean. But it'll kind of tell you what some of the important metals and things are. It will also tell you about if there is flux stone. Which is quite important as a, like, if you want to make steel, basically, at any point. And the aquifer is the other big thing, where aquifers are kind of a huge pain to get through if you don't really know how to manage water in these games. Because basically it means that there's going to be a level where if you dig down far enough, you hit water and you can't dig, like, kind of further than that. And yes, evil biomes are still a thing. Not sure if we can find some around here. Don't know exactly where it would say it. Temperatures scorching. Does seem to be a pretty aquifer heavy land that we've got here. I definitely want to settle kind of like on a mountain. Ideally with some flux stone. We'll definitely see what we get. It's actually not a super mountain heavy map, I'm noticing.
None mountains, all lake.
Mm-hmm. Get the stream mountain pig.
Woo! I take it you can't really move your fort once you've...
Yes, once you put a fort down, that's the location that your fort exists in. You can abandon your fort and start a new one, like, elsewhere. At any point. Kind of look like around here is really where we're going to want to be if we want to have both trees and mountains. Does look like there's like quite a few elves living in the mountains around here, huh? No, these are Dwarven mountain halls. They just show up in a different place because you're always playing as dwarves as your civilization here.
Not kobolds?
Not usually. Yeah, the West Mountains looks like that's where all the dwarves live. All these little huts are like villages and things.
Did you want to be close or far away from people?
So close to people, like especially other dwarves, you'll usually be part of their civilization and they will trade with you on the regular. There's also like goblins who tend to be quite hostile. This actually seems pretty nice. We've got clay. I don't know exactly what implications clay has, but it's heavily forested. It's got flux stone. It's got all sorts of nice stuff in it. And hey, maybe we'll make friends with elves, humans, and probably not goblins. Does look like this is a decently heavily settled area, but it's kind of the place I like the most so far, so hey. Ah, yes, you even get to choose, like, specifically the map. Yeah, it, like, zooms in on it. There's an elven forest retreat over here. Ah, and there's goblin pits over here. Yeah, so there's some dwarves around us over here. Ah, yes, and this will basically be the area that we are going.
Wow,
4x4 is the recommended size. We can make it bigger than that if we want.
It's a lot bigger than I thought.
Oh yeah, the world is gigantic and ridiculous. A river's definitely good, if we can manage it. That seems reasonable. Clay, some soil, sand. What more could we need? I guess we'll find out. Wow, it's really warning us about the aquifer, huh? Alright, well, we can have the enemies be normal, the economy be normal, we can custom... Yeah, light aquifers aren't too bad, but I'll probably, play around it for now, because I haven't actually gone through an aquifer in quite a long time. Alright, I believe you can pick, like, all sorts of equipment and stuff like that, but we've picked a relatively decent location, so I think it's time to just start up our fort.
Let's do it. Not the hard economy.
No, it's the economy, stupid. Alright, you have arrived. After a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond, your harsh trek has finally ended. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all Libosh Ston. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance. Whether by bolt, plow, or hook, provide for your dwarves. You are expecting a supply caravan just before winter entombs you, but it is spring now, enough time to delve secure lodgings ere the cougars get hungry. A new chapter of Dwarven history begins here at this place. Our Lemel, fleshy golds. Strike the earth.
Is that our fort name?
Our fort name is in fact fleshy golds. It is indeed time to Dwarf. Yes, you can see there are trees all over the place. This is kind of just one level right here that we're sitting on. If we scroll the wheel, basically we go up and down Z layers, and we can even go into the world. You'll notice that right now we are at 39 elevation. the world goes down a lot. So there is a ridiculous amount of stuff to find in this world. Like, every area you have has a ton of squares above and below it. Dwarves, of course, generally like going down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do like to dig.
So let's take a look. We've got 7 dwarves with us right now. We've got a few cats, dogs, horse, cow, a cavy pup, which as far as I can tell might be a guinea pig, a goose, and 2 horses, both ladies.
Don't starve your animals.
I'll do my best, but no promises. So yeah, the very first thing that I fucked up in my very first fort was actually that I didn't designate a pasture for my grazing animals. And what that meant was that they all
died.
just fucking starved despite the fact that they were like standing on grass, which was great. I have not played this game in a bit. The big thing about this game is, or at least one of the biggest systems is the zone system, where you can basically designate a space to do all sorts of stuff. So you got meeting areas, you got bedrooms, and what we're doing now is making a pasture, and we're gonna put in like everyone who needs to eat grass. Cavy's a guinea pig, that does make sense.
Yep.
Alright, well, currently all of our dwarves are outside, and if they're caught outside in the rain, they really don't like it. There will be a few who definitely need to,
Get
though.
digging. Get digging.
So I'm gonna, while I'm up here, designate a few of
Who
these
wouldn't
trees.
bring a goose? This is good shit.
Mm-hmm.
What's this you're designating?
So this is tree cutting.
Ah.
All of these are trees seen like, you know, as a slice.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And if you scroll up, they are like very involved. As trees span multiple Z layers and they're kind of gigantic. Way bigger than when I last played Dwarf Fortress. There are also plants to gather, which I will designate just because that's a pretty easy early food and drink source. But yes, the most important thing to do is the thing that's the far left on the main hotkey, and that is digging. So we are gonna dig a few levels down just to start and kind of see what we got to work with. Probably start the fort right about here, a little bit further from the water. Definitely worth noting that this is on a hill, which means that as I dig further in this direction, there's going to be more and more water kind of just around. Alright, and as we can see, dwarves will basically give themselves jobs. You can micromanage this quite a lot, but it does seem like the labor system they've put in has really helped, like, you know, simplify a lot of these things. The big thing is that you can kind of tell, like, only certain workers to do certain jobs, whereas other jobs you can basically say that, hey, anyone who's free can go gather plants right now. The first thing that we are definitely gonna want to do, though, is tell our miner that, let's see, that he only does mining because we need you know, like, digging out is gonna be one of the most important things we can do. In fact, eventually we're probably gonna need, multiple picks and things like that. I don't know if it actually comes with one, let's see. Alright, yes, we do have 3 copper picks, so I can make more people dig if we want. Alright, well, we have dug it out. And it does actually look like we hit rock pretty quickly. Which is good to know. Yeah, actually, if I look around here, there's some tetrahedrite, there's some jade if I want to get my dwarves wet. You can kind of use the rivers here as a way of, like, examining the layers, at least of stuff that are, that you can see. Yeah, there's clay over there. I know very little about clay and, like, working stuff, so that'll definitely be interesting. But since we're here, I am going to designate a big old starting area for us, and we will dig that out. Yeah, I definitely like the labor management stuff a lot. I had never played with Dwarf Therapists, so I don't even know like what it was like. We got Dolomite here. I think Dolomite is good. Is Dolomite a flux stone? You've struck Tiger Iron. Ah, yes, that is true. If I just click on this, yeah, there you go. Make steel bars, pig iron, furniture, building, nice. Also got tiger irons, which are gems. Okay, so there is some silt around here as well. Yeah, all clay. You've struck lignite, hooray. The first thing we're definitely going to want to do is just get ourselves a bit of a start here. But yeah, there's a lot of random quality of life features like this that tell you all the shit that you can do, which is so nice. Hey, cat. Yeah, we've already got a stray cow. Lovely. Right now, we're kind of just going to let our dwarves wander around. We do have fish over here, and I should probably get the start of a wood pile going on the surface. Another really big thing about this game is the stockpile system. Tell them to grab whatever they can around here. And then make myself a wood stockpile just right around here so that once I start building shit, I'll be able to just grab wood from right next to the door, which is good. Probably clear these trees out as well. I haven't actually looked up much. Doesn't look like there is too much going on around here. Okay, that's limonite. I was like, is that native gold? But no. Actually a good deal of like exposed gems and nice stuff. So that's good to keep in mind. I also want to make a trash pile. We'll put that over here. And probably also a corpse pile, but you know, we'll see how much use it gets. I think that's all I want on the outside for right now. I'll also make a meeting area down here just to get everyone out of the outside once enough of it has been cleared. I am going to have to remember like what the self-starting stuff is for this. I am also digging into rock here instead of loam, which is worth noting. Yeah, this set of rocks will be wet. Alright, yeah, limonite makes iron, which is nice. Got bauxite. I'll make a meeting room in here just to get everybody in from the outside. And the first, like, workshop that I will build will be a Carpenter. All the dogs coming down to everyone's favorite meeting place here. Another nice thing about all this is that there's like an interactive tutorial that has all sorts of stuff like this, and also a whole bunch of guides that will tell you a lot of stuff that you wouldn't necessarily see. Otherwise, or rather you would kind of just learn it the hard way a lot of the time. Well, I gotta say, we've already got iron and flux and a little bit of stuff for coke, so like we are definitely gonna be cooking pretty quick. Everybody else, yeah, is currently storing a bunch of shits, which is good. You'll definitely want to make kitchens at some point. Yeah, everybody in. And we'll make a kind of a hallway off out of here. Our miner just boops that and fucks off, which you do love to see. A whole lot of clay around. Then there's kind of just a whole ton of stuff that you want to make at first. I will definitely start with a few beds. Don't know if you start with any beds. No. Okay, just wanted to be certain so that I didn't make too many. Not that you can ever really have too many beds. 7. But I will definitely want to get a bedroom for these dwarves to have, and I'll definitely want to make, like, the start of a kitchen. Does look like there will be a decent amount of soil so that we can do some farming.
I do love farming.
We do have, yeah, a bunch of pump helmets spawn and helmets, which does remind me one thing that I definitely should do.
Goose.
A goose. Is tell them, A, don't cook our seeds, but also don't cook plump helmets. Because, like, a really weird thing that it's very easy to do by mistake is that if you cook these mushrooms, they will not give you seeds, but if you make beer out of them, they will give you seeds.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of just weird gotchas. We have also caught ourselves a whole bunch of fish. Okay, a whole bunch might be an overstatement. Oh yeah, those are like stacks of 5. Yeah, you might notice we don't have a very good count of everything that we have right now. We will fix that, but...
Is Cat soon around?
Mm-hmm. Alright, I'll make myself a little bedroom over here. It will not be Kuvo levels of fish, no. It will not be a bleh level of fish. And then I think I also want to... So this is a carpenter's shop. I can use it to make stuff out of wood. I would also like to build a stoneworker's shop, because in general you're going to have a lot more stone than wood. I could be making these things out of stuff that's less useful than dolomite, but for now, you know, it's what's here. We have plenty of it. Alright. So in general, if something can be made out of rock, you kind of want to, but there are some specific exceptions to that. That are mostly logical once someone explains them to you, but until someone does, it's like... I don't understand how I was supposed to know that. Alright, so we're gonna get this dug out. I'm gonna make a level down to make our kitchen. Or at least to place a kitchen. Find it easier to let them dig the floors out before I tell them to make a space on them. Mostly because if I specify like on a floor, stairs that haven't been dug out yet, it'll overwrite it with the mine. Which is sort of a weird thing, but... We're definitely, once we get stuff down there, gonna want a fishery. Because that's a... we can't eat any of the fish that we get until they are prepared, until they are cut. Once they're cut, dwarves love sashimi, apparently, but... we will need that. Another thing that I will definitely get started on are a few barrels. And a few bins. We have a lot of wood, so we might as well make use of it. On maps where you don't really have trees, you really have to be a lot more careful with that. Because there are certain things that cannot be made out of stone, such as beds are really the biggest one. Guess I will also, just to make my dwarves' lives easier, make some wheelbarrows.
Sure. I guess that's what you're playing this game for.
If they get too mad, they will just blow everything up. So, you know, we try to keep them happy. Well, some tetrahedrite there.
I mean, that sounds funny, though.
That's true. You will get a notification. You'll get all your notifications on the top left, so you kind of always want to keep your eye on there. One of the ones that you will get an awful lot of is striking a new metal or gem. Generally, if you see something that looks nice, it's good to just click on it and be like, ah, that's where that is. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a good way to, like, mark it. Anyway, let's make ourselves a bedroom, or rather a dormitory. We can pick what specific bed we want to put down, but I'll just use closest material and say keep building, so that we can just place 7 beds.
A dorm.
This will be a dormitory. I do need to give it a door, though.
Which is different to a bedroom. Bedrooms are like for one, and dorms are for multiple.
Yes, bedrooms are solos, dormitories are multiples. Yep, it even actually says it here. Citizens will sleep in bedrooms, should include a bed, try to enclose it, walls and door, do not overlap with other rooms. Dormitories, multiple beds, not belong to any particular citizen. So right now we don't really, there's other stuff we want to dig up more. So a dormitory will do. I will click the area. There's also like a sub-level of things that you can assign locations to be specific things, like inns and libraries and stuff, but for now we're just doing this. Then I will figure out what's an easy place for me to kind of hollow out a little bit so that we can actually start storing some stuff, particularly food. Our miner will get faster as we train him further, but we definitely need to... Stone will definitely take a little while for now.
He's shit at his job is what you're saying?
He's, you know, I guess we can actually check how good he is at his job. See where he is right now. He's an expert miner.
Oh, well, okay then. I was shit-talking him.
Mm-hmm.
He is 4x used for inebriation.
As you do. Yes, basically the entirety of Dwarf Fort is about giving dwarves more good thoughts than bad thoughts.
And not having a tree fall on them, and then them constantly remembering that tree falling on them for a
You know,
year.
if you had a tree fall on you, it would probably be a pretty bad thought.
And a bad thought that you would have for a long time. Yes.
For a while, yeah. Mm-hmm. So we do have a lot of
he values
wood now
decorum.
Here. Indeed. Got a high kinesthetic sense. I am debating making one of my other dwarves into also a miner, which is a pretty reasonable thing to do. What I may do is not make them only a miner, let them do other things. That seems pretty reasonable. We got a planter, a woodworker, a stonecrafter, a fisher dwarf, a mason, and the expedition leader. A's. Yeah, I think my planter can do double duty as a miner. Yeah, there we go. So now mining will generally go quite a bit quicker. We will, of course, also want to create a still.
Sure.
And I'll probably want to make a dining room.
I see you have mostly kind of vaguely happy dwarves.
Yes, right now we're in a decent enough place. I'll make a pretty big one. I might make that a tavern eventually.
So you'll see water on this level, right?
Yes. Basically because there is a so you can see one level below like streams you've done because like technically this is an open space with water in the level below it. So all the actual water is here. You can even toggle like how deep water is because water is measured, and actually any fluid is measured on a level from 1 to 7. And if you want to see that, like that's basically where you see it. That's actually like a waterfall over here because the water like is at this level here, and then it falls all the way down to here, which is where we've dug our fort down so far. Yeah, we got our dwarves' beds, so that's a good start. We're gonna make them a dining room as well, but for which I am going to need some tables and chairs. Crimson Dragoon, thank you so much for the resub.
Hello, dwarfs.
Ah, yes. So another important thing is that sometimes things with different materials will have different names. So a wooden chair is a chair. A rock chair.
Is it throne?
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened in on the on the stream with Ty. I internalized a tiny amount. Wow! Holy shit!
Holy cow!
So much.
Thank you so much for the subs. Oh my god! And congrats to everyone who got one.
Oh, thank you. And we're happy. Well, this will be our last stream before Christmas.
We are heading out to see my family tomorrow, so we will be taking a short break.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. And thank you so much.
Let's see, we got, a few of these. I'll make 3. 3 seems like a good amount. One of them will be a lot more useful than the others.
I'm glad we managed to stream this today. It was a little bit cursed.
Yeah, so we've been trying to stream Dwarf Fortress for the last, like, 3 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
The last 2 weeks, and it, hasn't happened mostly because other stuff has come up. I had a doctor's appointment 2 weeks ago, and then, you were scheduled months ahead of time to stream with Ty Tuesday.
Yep. We kind of didn't think that one through.
Yeah, huh. Alright, I do notice that we've got a few gems. They generally look like this when they're, like, rough cut. So we might as well build ourselves a jeweler.
Good. Oh, there's so much.
Oh god, yes. And, like, so much of it is kind of just, like, you work with what you have around you with the stuff that you notice.
I think the thing about, like, management games like this is I do actually play them. I recently played 2 Point Campus, and I'm playing Let's Build a Zoo, but, like, I kind of need ones that actually, like, tell me what to do at first. Have, like, campaign modes, and, like, just tutorials. I know this has a short tutorial, but I like being in-depth kind of story mode.
I'm glad we brought our lamprey over.
Oh, good. Sure.
Surprised they're not using the bin for that.
How about a fortress? I build a zoo. I have a good zoo right now. I'm gonna make a bad zoo later.
Hell yeah.
That caused the music to get all spicy.
I know what I did, and we might not see it this stream.
I probably won't, yeah.
Because I believe at least some of the music is very, like, it's dependent on how big your fort is.
Yeah,
and things like that. If
having
I had to guess.
Having a stage in a bar.
Yes. Alright. So, now that we've dug out this place, we are going to put some tables and chairs in. You can use hotkeys for pretty much all of these, and that was actually the only way to play the game for a long-ass time. But it's really nice that it's kind of evolved beyond that. Alright, nope, not them. I'm gonna make a dining hall here. And I am also going to cheat it by making an office within that dining hall.
Oh!
I know.
Oh!
I'm a real fucker.
What an asshole you are.
So the big thing about this is that, given that we don't actually know how much of anything we have, we really need to put get a bookkeeper for the sake of knowing what anything that we have is. So one of these folks. Planter is a proficient record keeper. Kind of already got him as my minor, but hey. So when you specify a noble, they will often have requirements. All that a bookkeeper requires is a study. And a study only really has to be a chair. And it's nice to give them a table because then they could eat at the table. Sometimes they will eat in their office. So if I tell our bookkeeper that it's this, that should, I think, be sufficient. Yep. He now has an office. He needs to actively take up the task to do the thing. So until he does that, until we like actually watch him, because he's currently, I think, eating, he will not be doing our books. But there we go. It looks like we have, in fact, got... Yeah, he's updating the stockpile records now, and we're actually going to get accurate counts of everything. The other thing that I think is really useful to do for him now, and also is just, you know, kind of for free, I'm sure he'll find the time to do planting in between mining and everything else that we're going to have him do. Because we're also going to make him the manager. Actually, we could make... I don't know how important the skills are to a lot of these kinds of jobs. I feel like I could just make it him, because then I won't have to give him a separate office, because the manager also requires an office. And the big thing that the manager does is allows us to do work orders. So it's actually really annoying to have to click every individual shop that you want to build something and then say, like, click it 10 times and search down all the beds and do everything there. If instead you use work orders, then you don't have to pick the shop, and you can say just, like, make 10 of them, which is really fucking nice. Yeah, it's the most important administrator, because the game just becomes so much better to play when you don't have to click add new task. And I don't even have, like, the good ones here, like, there's a lot of, like, way deep, yeah, there we go, open menu, and so you get, like, multi-level menus for all these things that are really complicated to go through. If instead you have a manager, you're allowed to do work orders, which basically let you tell all of your shops to do anything, and it's really, really flexible. Yeah, it's only if you do it from like if you want a specific workshop to do something, you give it work orders through this. If you want everything, then you give work orders through, or any place can do it. You give work orders through that. So yes, I believe as long as we're catching fish, they will give us the prepare a raw fish thing, which is good. It's a plant barrel. Yeah, we mostly got our ale out here. We should definitely build a still. Dwarves can drink water, but they don't really like it. And in the winter, oftentimes, water will freeze over. And that's no good. Alright, I am, since we've once again got those gems, gonna give a work order to cut gems. So when you just give a default one, it will set it to, like, cut 10 gems and go on from there. But a really nice thing is that you can actually give these things conditions. So what I can say is if we've got, like, gems, so the large gems are, that's like, when we cut gems, we turn them into large gems. And when we rough gems, which is are the things that we've been digging up out of the ground. So I'll set this at like 5. I don't know if you ever don't want to not cut gems. Like they're just generally a lot better when they're cut. But one thing that is really like important is that I set this number to be the same as this number, because if we have greater than 5 gems and say to cut 10 gems, it'll only do it'll do like the first 5 that it finds and then be like, I can't find any more gems.
Okay.
Strange moods require rough gems. That does sort of make sense, yeah. What I'll potentially do is like, say we have 7 gems, leave a few over just in case. And then we'll put that there. So eventually we're gonna sort of grow this operation out, but for now we're just gonna keep it nice and simple. I'm also going to smooth this out, because dwarves like smooth things. Gives them happy thoughts. Might only be detail that gives them happy thoughts, but you know. Let's see. Gypsum, moss agate, fortification agate. True, you could train a like you could save your gems until you have a gem cutter who is like, or a gem cutter who is much better at it. But that's definitely like a lot of extra work, and a lot of the time that's kind of too much to worry about, especially as a new player. You can get so deep and optimized in this, like if you really want to, and that's kind of the fun of the game. But a lot of the time it's like you don't really have to worry about perfect play. I think we've kind of dug out most of the basic areas that I would super care about. So what I may do is have my miners go on some exploratory missions. Yeah, when you get to like customizing your crew, it also you can really game the system quite aggressively, which is nice. See what our miner's off to. No job.
I know.
Why you got no job? There we go. Some job. Alright, we got claystone wall. Got, more dolomite and bituminous coal. Oh my god.
That good?
That's really good.
Right.
So in order to do like metalsmithing, you do need some form of either charcoal or regular coal. Bituminous coal does in fact count as regular coal.
Nice.
Make coke from bituminous coal in furnaces. Yeah, dwarves generally like nice things. I'm not actually 100% sure about the full stair thing. I do think that there are, like, up and down stairs. I'm currently kind of alternating just so that there isn't a giant pit in the middle of my fortress. But, you know, I don't know how important it is. I've struck hematite.
Is that good?
Hematite is another iron-bearing ore.
Alright.
That I am gonna be able to make iron.
Should have guessed that from Hema.
Yeah. Quite early in this.
And that prefix is there for a reason.
Yep.
I got hemoglobin.
We already have Flux Bellephon. Everything I have here is carved out of dolomite. Yes, the dwarves, basically everyone is smoothing out the stone here, or at least everyone who's not doing other jobs is smoothing out stone. That kind of raises the value of things and makes dwarves just a little bit happier. That's always good. Saltpeter and pink jade. Don't actually know if, like, saltpeter is for... We do have more jade here, or more gems. Yes, we have some lovely colored workshops. The color of a workshop is determined by the material you use to make it, incidentally. I am also, before I forget, going to build a trading post. It's currently early summer, so we got plenty of time, but... You know, we will want to do trade with the homeland eventually. When they come in the autumn. Gather some more plants while we're at it. We will probably want a furniture stockpile at some point, but it kind of can just sit in these places. At the plush.
Yeah. I'll have a dwarf. I might have a goose. Let me go get the goose. I think I have a goose.
We've hit sardonyx. Yeah, saltpeter doesn't do much. We are just finding gem after gem, though. I will also at some point start carving out people's actual bedrooms. And one thing that I do like to make pretty early as well is a decently sized non-denominational temple. Because everybody likes to pray.
Listener.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, World Gen not lying when it said minerals everywhere. We are a mineral-heavy world here, which is good. Minerals let you do shit. And doing shit is fun.
Do you like to do shit?
Alright, well, considering where we are at with, like, being provided all of the necessary stuff for smithing, probably a good idea for me to kind of focus on that as my first major thing.
Our population's going up.
Oh, hey! Yes, some migrants have arrived. So I think every season you get a chance for more migrants to come in.
You got like 7 there?
Yes, we got 7 out of that. I kind of wish that it had a bit more to tell you, like, about how many have shown up and, like, all sorts of things like that. But generally speaking, as your fort gets more valuable, as people hear more about the riches, they will come and want to live here. Yes, you need a broker with the appraisal skill to actually see how much stuff you've done. But you can see, yeah.
Uh-oh!
We have brought 4 children. And 3 regular new arrivals. We have another miner,
First,
which
yep.
is good. Now, potentially keep like 1 dedicated miner on for now, eventually put it to 2 miners, but quite good that we've got that already. That'll help us bootstrap our like steel production and things like that pretty quickly. Because a big thing about a lot of this, yeah, we have a ton of woodcutters. There are elves nearby, but maybe it'll be fine.
Elves don't like it when you chop trees.
No, they do not. Alright, I will make... I think what I'll do first is make these cuts higher priority so that we can get the section for this going quicker, the section for smithing going quicker. You can basically specify how important it is that something gets mined, which means that your miners will do that first. And I will also get to building. So, you'll notice that there is an entire subsection for furnaces in this.
Uh-huh.
That's because there are 7
boy.
kinds of furnace.
Okay.
We've got wood furnaces, kilns, magma kilns. Magma stuff, basically, if you find lava, you can build your stuff on top of that and use that instead of having to burn things for it, which is nice. Wood furnaces also make charcoal out of nothing. Don't worry about it. I am going to have to remember all of the shops that are involved in making, like, everything. We'll definitely want a little bit of this, but I think that we mostly won't need it so much. Oh, magma's a very fun material. But the big thing is that we want to put down a metalsmith. And an important thing about metalsmiths is that they require anvils. So we have to... You basically need metalworking to make metalworking.
It makes some level of sense, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. Just have to remember how to make... like what to do with... or how to process bituminous coal. If it's even necessary. I honestly don't know. I'm also gonna make the most classic work order ever, which is make wooden bin, let's say 10, if amount of empty bins is less than 10. And logs is greater than 10, just for funsies. Yeah, you make bituminous coal at the smelter. Right, so you start with charcoal, and then you make that into... you make bituminous coal into coke, and you get, like, more out of it than you put in, if I remember correctly. I will also get a standing order going for beds. We need 7 for all the new dwarves that showed up. Yeah, we got everybody mining here, which is nice. I will also make charcoal. Eventually, like, this screen is going to be completely overwhelmed with my repeating orders of things that I just always want to happen. But for now, we'll kind of slowly work our way up to that, and we're just doing flat ones for now. One-time orders, or the really easy repeating ones. Yeah, bauxite's good to build with because it is not going to be useful for making steel. We got us some tetrahedrite. Struck even more limonite. Yeah, we're cutting out this corner now. Which I was mostly cutting into for the hematite, but hey, this is going to make a really nice kitchens area eventually. So far, so good. I need to place a whole bunch more beds. Potentially even start building people's, like, own rooms out of these things.
No,
but...
fuck them. Communal living.
Mm-hmm.
A person's in the river.
Yes, I believe she is fishing.
Hey. Fisher dwarf. Fisher dwarf.
Ah.
Boy, what's happening there?
So this is our refuse pile.
Oh.
And those are mussel shells.
Oh.
So it looks like we've been catching a lot of mussels from the river.
Catching a lot of shit.
Indeed. All right. Well, we can do something with those.
Ooh.
If we make a Craftsdorf workshop. Get out of saltpeter.
Does it matter what you make things out of?
No, but like, you know, the, basically the item is always in the shop there, and if it's something that could be put to better use, it can, basically, like, this dolomite will be useful for making steel, so it's better if we use other things other than it. But it's also not that important because we have a buttload of it. Alright, that's our cut gems completed. We're gonna get this one a lot because, like, fish, if multiple people try to prepare fish or anything like that, it will always,
It'll get weird.
Yeah, it'll be like, I don't see any fish.
Are they making booze down there?
I have not actually got them making booze. In fact, we are running
those are just
quite
barrels,
low.
then?
Yes, so this is the unused still. What I will definitely do, and thank you for reminding me that because I was forgetting, is brew drink from plant and brew drink from fruit. Yes, and we're going to need to build some more barrels for this to work out. I'll kind of try to keep us at a 50 minimum on our drinks. And then I will likely get the barrel train running.
Booze, 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 booze.
It's very important.
The dwarves need their booze, honey.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you let it get this low?
It's true. I will even, just for you, and just because I made a very big thing,
Yeah.
make a second carpenter shop.
Yeah. Out of booze.
Out of booze. God, I am just getting constant, you found shit
Goose,
stuff.
goose,
It's
goose.
great. There are so many gems. Oh my god.
Rough blue jade.
Yeah, like, we have found a ton of gems and such. Alright, speaking of which, I am going to make another stockpile. Eventually, this floor will likely become a pretty lively, general thing. Yes, bars and blocks. Good stuff to have. I think I want this one to be the bars and blocks storage. And the other one to be the good rock storage. So with the stockpile system, you can specify everything that you want, like, down to a really granular level. So if you want a stockpile that has absolutely nothing but chalk in it, you can have it.
Yeah.
But we are going to keep this to metal ores and economic ore here. That way, all of our smithing stuff that we have going here will always have stuff. So yeah, there we go.
All
here
these
in the
games
smelter.
Suddenly have music pop in.
Yes,
It's
music
really
just
weird.
happens sometimes. It's very atmospheric. So yes, we can make coke from both lignite and bituminous coal. I will certainly do that. Also, wow, this bauxite makes a lovely color of furnace. That's neat. God, I am gonna have to remember how to make it's like steel, basically. Yeah, I need to make pig iron first, which I think I need iron for. Yeah, so you need to make iron, then pig iron, then steel. It is ridiculously complicated.
Sure.
But I think what I will start with... Irunba! Oh, it's pig iron bars. Oh wait, it's smelt. You do have to know the exact words.
Oh, good lord.
Especially because it is from the
Oh,
ore
Lord.
rather than from the stuff that we have here. Yes.
Yeah, this game is a lot.
Yes,
That's a
all
lot.
of the rocks are like geologically accurate to like what they have and all that kind of thing. I will lower that to 5 because yeah, we do have some enough hematite, and consequently lower that to 5 as well. I want to say I have another iron-bearing thing. We also have tetrahedrite, which turns into silver and copper as well. So we have found a source of silver. This seems like a pretty big hematite vein as well. Just looking at it. So that's fun. Yes, they do have real-life pictures of the ore, which I always thought was pretty neat. All right. Really don't need to do this, but I want to. Construct a little floor as a treat. I'll make this one out of dolomite so that it all matches. Take that, loam. I will also, so we already smoothed these floors, and what I may do after I put these down is engrave them, because that also raises the value of these things.
It's better to engrave floors than walls, right?
Yes, that's because if I need to expand and you go through an engraved wall, the person who made that lovely art is not going to be very happy with you. Oddly enough.
Fine with people stepping all over their art. But
Yeah. Oh, that's
God
fine.
forbid you break a wall.
God, no. Never. You monster. See if I can't get a temple space with a bit more stone in it, because an easy way to make a temple into a nicer place is definitely to smooth and engrave the stone. Alright.
Dwarves are still reasonably happy.
Yeah, no one's angry.
They're kind of like ranging from to delighted. Who's our delighted boy?
That is a good question. Who's super happy?
Who's a happy lad?
The expedition leader.
Okay.
Yeah, she's loving it.
She's Just having a blissful remembering dining in a good dining room.
As you do, because it's a lovely dining room.
She felt love remembering talking with a lover. Oh,
we do have Sodal Carnage Picks.
In love with our,
I believe our Mason. I have noticed the, yeah, so like I think what it is that it writes it in Dwarfish. Yep, there we go. So like their names in the name screen are in Dwarfish, but it then gives you the wonderful human translation so that you can enjoy all of the names. So yeah, our Mason and Gem Cutter is shacking up with the expedition leader. Dwarves are polyamorous. And now I'm kind of just clearing out some decent looking stuff. We're smelting hematite ore. We do have both bituminous coal and lignite.
Coke.
So we can make ourselves some coke.
Coke. Which kind?
Yeah, so I probably want us to be... Kind of want a nice, hefty supply of this stuff. Also kind of want to make sure that we're a little bit ahead in the, Because, like, one thing about work orders is that it's very easy to make them bump into each other where they are competing for resources and then they get very unhappy about each other.
Sure,
So one way to combat that is, like, when there's a resource that is being competed for, you, like, set that a little bit higher. It's not necessarily foolproof, but it does help alleviate it a bit. Definitely want that. I will also get my charcoal going. I think you can use coke to fire more coke, and I think that that's still positive. Someone can tell me. I don't actually know the numbers and ratios. Like that 30 for now. We are fishing all the stuff out. I did make that craft dwarf workshop, but I didn't actually tell us to do anything with those crafts, so... We can make all sorts of things with bone.
That's a little, a little dark.
Isn't it?
I did hear about the mermaid bone factories that people used to make.
Yes. There are a lot of things that you can do in this game. Some of them more dubious than others.
I mean, why not? Bone leggings. Let's do it.
We can make someone bone leggings.
Bone leggings. Bone leggings.
Need unrotten 3 unrotten bone body parts. Okay. Yes, that's actually a shell, so there... We don't have much bone. What I really need is shell. We can make shell leggings.
Yeah! Everyone just get leggings made of weird-ass materials. Can't be comfortable.
Yeah. Dwarf clothing does deteriorate, by the way. If I look up people's, God, there's like so many things in here. A lot of the time these things just like look up tunic. A tunic is considered to be armor. So like all of these things, that's like the clothes on dwarves' backs right now. They will deteriorate over time.
Oh no.
And if you don't make extras, they will fall apart and your dwarves will just walk around naked and be angry about it.
Dwarves don't like, unless you've got a weirdo who likes being naked, I suppose.
There may be some that do,
Well, there may be some, I don't know, nudist dwarves.
Yeah. That drink supply is getting low, but it does look like we are brewing some drinks. I'm going to make a second still just to...
get that going.
Yeah, since there's 2 different types of orders going for that, we might as well take advantage of it. Oh my god, there's so much hematite. This rules. I will probably also smelt this tetrahedrite because tetrahedrite makes silver. Not in huge quantities, but silver's quite good for early crafting type stuff. Well, the big thing about it is the game doesn't really tell you that clothing disintegrates and that your dwarves will be angry if their clothing disintegrates. Like, there's not really any outside indicator for it unless you look at their items and see the minuses around them and understand that that means that it's deteriorating. Shops. There's hotkeys for all of this. I have not yet learned it. I'm terrible. Yeah, I'm gonna make that out of bauxite because it's making them a lovely color, and I do like that.
Ooh.
Have to remember to actually do that. And like we're gonna have a lot of smiths going because we have so much stuff that we can do here. Like, this is gonna be a metalworking fortress for sure. Alright, tetrahedrite ore. And it'll be nice to get copper out of it, but the silver is what we're really looking for. I'll make that the limiting factor on that side, and I'll say refined coal is like 25. Okay, we got 21 coke right now and 10 charcoal, so we're in pretty good shape there.
Your drinks are going up.
Yes, we are finally actually getting someone to make drinks for us, thank God. One thing that you definitely find in early fortresses is that it's like, jobs will just not get done, especially if you are making heavy use of work orders, because they'll prioritize work orders over things like building most of the time. So like, especially when you're like just getting these things set up and they're not totally up and running, it is very easy to just have stuff sit undone forever. I'm glad they put these floors down already. That's good. I'm gonna get the engrave order here. God, we've found so many gems. This is wonderful. And yeah, you can cave things in, but it's like, you know, these full floors, as long as they're connected to basically anything, they can still just go. I could probably set my cut gems to infinite, but I do like limiting it via a work order, out of my personal preference. We have a very big space going on here, which I quite like. Yeah, this is a nice surface. This will be good to make into a temple. I mean, the funny thing is you can go to maps that have way less shit on them, but it's really nice just to have a map where, like, you just have everything done for you, you know? Yes, if you click on any given task... No one's, like, doing anything right now, but, You can there's basically a repeating icon on anyone that you do yourself. It is within the here. Like if I just say armor, copper buckler, I can set it to repeat as much as I want.
Definitely. All right.
You usually work orders are a little bit better for that kind of thing, if only because everything is like resource in, resource out, and work orders actually let you control it. But you know. Yeah, we're basically just gonna fill this whole fucking thing up with limonite, which is very funny to me. Oh god, we are piling up work orders here. Which is good. Another useful thing about children is that they only can haul. So that does mean that they will build stuff and haul all of the unpleasant things around and throw out trash and things, which is useful. Yes, you can do a lot of stuff to help with that, or like a lot of really specific things if it fits your workflow. Like making a workshop that only makes blocks. Anyway, I am going to make this into a temple with no specific deity. So you can see that there are a ton of both gods and religions around here. And they all have different things. Like, I guess Sickle the Confusing Aura is the god of dreams. And family, and suicide, which we have 6 worshippers of.
Oh boy.
3 worshippers of death and blight. 5 worshippers of fortress. How wholesome.
There better be someone who's worshipping like all of it. It'll be very funny.
I mean, a lot of them will be doing a lot of it, but a nice thing is you can set a temple up to no specific deity, and then everyone can just come in and go there. So because we don't have anyone who can appraise things, we don't know how valuable this temple is, but you look at this thing, it's definitely a shrine, and shouldn't really call itself a temple just yet.
Sure.
But basically, dwarves will come meet here, and they'll be happy because they get to pray to their god. If we look, or gods, if we look at a lot of them and their currently unmet needs, a big one for most of them is going to be things like praying. So this will provide just some really easy faith points. I will also smooth the place because, of course, if dwarves are moving there, that means that it's good to give them happy thoughts, and it will also make it more nicer. Alrighty, so I assume we're starting to get at least a few silver blocks, but maybe I'm wrong. We have a single set of silver bars right now. We only just started doing tetrahedrite. But I will probably set someone to make some silver stuff. Alright, but what kind of silver stuff? Basically, these will be things to give like dwarves to trade in our first set. We don't really have anything specific that folks are looking for. I don't really know what's sort of the highest value items, so I'll just make some goblets and stuff. Potentially we will stud them with gems, why not? Oops, I said nickel silver. Nickel silver is different than silver. My god, that is all nickel silver. I want regular silver, normal silver. Plus, hey, giving my folks some silver cups is pretty nice. Oftentimes, the refined coal checks are the things that you really want to be careful about. Because everything that you forge uses coal. Pyrite. We're getting our brewing on. Yeah, we have over 100 drinks now. We do probably need a bit more food, though. I think one thing that I can use this area as is a farm. Seems pretty reasonable to do. Yeah, sorry,
Oh
buddy.
wow, you have two very happy peeps now.
Ooh, yeah, looks like they're just popping in between them.
Well,
Yeah, I just let it just went down there, but our Mason is quite happy.
Hey, so is that the couple that's happy?
Potentially, yes. They're both at least at the higher level of happy. Yes, yes, our expedition
Our
leader is
couple
happy.
are
So there you go,
probably.
shacking up
Yep.
in the dormitory.
Oh Lord.
Uh-oh. What I will
Make other
do...
people unhappy.
Yeah.
Maybe give them a little bang room. Set couples up.
No, but I believe like if people have their bedrooms, they will go to each other's stuff. But I think I will start getting the bedroom complex together. Bedrooms can generally be pretty stock standard. Didn't realize I didn't get rid of the nickel silver ones. Yeah, we actually have quite a lot of tetrahedrite here, which is good. Curious. Yeah, we got an iron battle axe. Not too much else. Wow, we brought a lot of axes with us. We have a silver battle axe, which seems a little bit silly. But what do I know? One thing we don't have, I think... We have crow remains, but we do not have a crossbow, so it's probably not a bad idea to forge a crossbow.
We need weapons eventually for fending off, I don't know,
All sorts
goblins?
of fun things. Crossbows are also used to hunt, though. So if we make one of those and we have some bolts, we will be able to hunt us some...
Food.
Indeed.
Nominals.
Yes, iron crossbow.
Nominals.
And I will probably just make 2 for the sake of having them. Crossbows don't... The material in the crossbow is apparently not all that important. It's actually the bolts that are more, but... They do get used as hammers if they're used in close combat, so... Not necessarily a bad idea. Let's see how our miners are doing. We've got a Grandmaster miner, a proficient miner, and a competent miner in our manager. Not too shabby. They're chewing through all this stuff pretty quick, which is good. I believe material density and weight affects like the weapon when used for bludgeoning. So like that's the weird part about it. When they use their crossbow as a melee weapon, the type will affect it. If they are just shooting things with it, only the bolts matter, is I believe how it works. We are going to have to make a ridiculous amount of iron eventually, but I think for now it's good to just get ourselves set up, basically. Oh my god, did we find more heme? Oh my god! Sure. Alright, I'm also gonna do one of my preferred bedroom arrangements here.
Oh, he's giving them the tiniest little bedrooms.
Yep. They like it.
Their own little shit boxes.
To be fair, with these hematite walls, the ones who get those bedrooms are going to be pretty happy. Ah, sapphires.
They got the fancy walls, do they?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to dig out that, which might make that the first, like, kind of hallway comedy area kind of thing, which is fine. Yes, you can do individual... Ah, we've made it to autumn, which means that it is saving. The steel is going to be really, really good for us. But we will need to work our way up to it, because it is quite complicated. The entire world is having history happen, incidentally. Like, all of the named actors and stuff. So, like, time does move when you do the fortress. Is another cool thing about Dwarf Fort. I think the minimum requirement for a room is just a bed and a door, so I think 1 square is enough. However, you can still do, like, you can give dwarves life having things, basically, in their bedrooms.
Like a chair and a table and stuff?
Yes, generally a cabinet and a chest are what you want to give your dwarves, because then they keep stuff that they have, clothing in the cabinet and stuff in the chest. So eventually we'll get like standing work orders to fill all of these things with furniture, but at a later date. I'm going to make these weird shape for fun. Yes, everyone likes having a bed, cabinet, and chest. Everything else is sort of like, you know, extra. I'm going to make a coffer for this. Yeah, a Voffer.
A Voffer, yeah.
That's what I wanted. Pretty common. Eventually I'll have a standing order that gives me a certain amount of those all the time. I will also set these, it is autumn, grow up some shit. Let's see, this is poor soil. Cavern soil is best, but we don't have caverns right now. Yeah, God, we are just finding so many gems. This is ridiculous.
You set it to big.
Mm-hmm.
Muchly bigly.
Yeah, looks like they're kind of out of boxes at the moment. Let's see. Ah, there are still bins available, apparently. They're just not putting them here to put their shit in.
Little weirdos.
It do be like that. You can redraw stockpiles at any time, which is nice. An animal has grown to become a stray horse. A nice thing about Dwarf Fort is that you kind of don't really have to worry about, like, most of the specifics. Ah, cassiterite makes tin. It can also glaze shit. Neat.
Ooh.
Alright, man, we are already at a hilarious number of bars for things, although most of these are coke and charcoal, hilariously. Yeah, we get a lot more copper than we get silver. It's like 4-to-1 ratio from tetrahedrite, but that is still a way to get silver, and that is still good for us. You can always make things more difficult for yourself in this game. Alright, well, we got a nice dining room going here. It's certainly good. Eventually people are going to smooth over this temple, but hey. Ah, there's a savvy pup who is a stray. Did I not assign you to the field because you are hungry? Ah, yep. There's also a Björn. I don't know if Björns are grazers or not. Collect some more stuff. Our food is not super hefty. Ah, here we go. Although it is a grim reminder of the winter hardships to come, the supply caravan from the Axe of Fealty is a welcome sight. Their eyes are alight with the anticipation of inspecting the splendid products of your industrious crafts dwarves. Take careful stock of your own stores. What these merchants offer might very well be the difference between a prosperous future and a slow and meaningless death.
You idiot, you moron. Don't fucking die, idiot.
Correct. Alright.
Hey, don't be stupid.
Don't be dumb.
Don't be dumb. Your death will be stupid and meaningless. Don't do it.
Yeah, I believe dwarves feed their pets, although it's kind of like, you know, some different things. Like, grazing animals need a pasture or they'll just starve to death. Let's see. Crust finished goods with cut gems. Try to do that a few times. Since they're here. God, I'm gonna have to cut this out bigger, like, already. We're gonna want us a big-ass workshop space. Now I'll just... The nice thing is you can always deconstruct a shop and it will just give you the item you used to make it back. So, like, if you need something temporarily, you can just throw that shit up there. We also got the Outpost Liaison, which is basically our contact in the outside world. We will do diplomacy with them. I am also going to make our expedition leader into our broker because she is an adequate negotiator, persuader, a novice liar, a conversationalist, and an intimidator. All good things to be. And also, I don't believe broker has any special needs whatsoever, so that's fine. All right, we are getting our beds together. We do need doors, which I don't know that we are making. I know. Beds need doors.
Who needs a door?
Bedrooms need doors.
No. You know, open. It's fine. Nobody needs privacy. It's fine. Doors.
Yeah, 10 doors is fine.
Nobody needs doors.
We need doors.
No. Our rock formations are so beautiful.
Oh, we don't currently have beds being made. That's important.
Stacked cactars.
I'm surprised that I don't have a make bed order, but I totally don't. Noted.
Oops.
It's fine. They all have places to sleep right now. It's just if I want to actually get them their, start building their rooms.
Yes, he made sure that they weren't cooking the plump helmets very quickly, I think. Like right away at the start.
Yes, I did. I have specified do not cook plump helmets. I haven't actually specified don't cook like most other things, but yes, currently we did. It only does it for things that you actually have, but yeah, we have a ton of plump helmet spawns, so. Yeah, we've already pawnted a bunch of them. Diplomacy. Alright, let's discuss our situation. There is much to share. We haven't touched it at all, but there is a civilization/world info map that will tell you about the goings-on of the world, if you care. So, the big thing is that we can ask them for stuff. Generally speaking, stuff like drink is really good because you get barrels with the drinks, and it's a great way to just get more barrels for your things. So I will say yes to all the drinks. Beyond that, it's not really... we don't have anything that we're like super lacking as of right now. I might ask them for some iron anvils, but honestly, nah, we can make iron. I'll need to make them, but we do have a ton of iron right now, so, like, we don't really need that. Alright, Dwarven wine requested. Yeah, so they will bump the prices up for them, but it does mean that they'll have them, and they'll have more of them than they would have otherwise, so... generally worth doing. A need for footwear is expected. So, okay, the next time we see a Dwarven caravan, we'll be able to sell them footwear at 200% markup. I don't think feet is worth much, but hey.
I'm making leggings, we make bone shoes.
There you go, yeah. Exactly.
Yes, yes, bone shoes, bone shoes.
Alrighty. I don't know if this will get, like, kicked out. Okay, good. Yeah, it does get put to the bottom of the line. So I do want to encrust some of our stuff with gems. I also believe I made a coffer, like, forever ago. Never placed it. I didn't make a coffer. Go figure.
Wait,
Me too.
you typed in copper.
I must have placed it somewhere.
There's make rock coffer on one of them.
Oh, that means it hasn't been done yet.
The middle one, I think, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that is being done literally as we speak.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, when you don't have a huge number of dwarves, it can often take a bit, especially when they're not very good at stuff, so it takes them a long time. But yeah, there you go. We now have a dolomite coffer. Alright, furniture, chest. I'll just pop that over there. And then the dwarves will keep their cups there, so that when they're doing their dancing and stuff, they can also throw their stuff in the drink, which is nice.
The cups are the goblets.
They're goblets.
Yeah.
Charging into a goblet's nest. Alrighty, so I think I will, basically the merchants have arrived, they're unloading their shit now, we will be able to trade with them. We have fished everything out of the place.
Oh, no bone boots.
Like, can I make bone bolts? Or I guess shell bolts.
Bolts.
Yeah, I don't know if we have any bones. This will tell us very quickly, though, once someone tries to do it. Yes, I kind of want to let them do this. Encrust stuff with gems, and then we use that and sell those things for...
You got some pop-up.
Indeed. Yes, so we do not, in fact, have dumb bones. I will cancel that. We will want to do some hunting to get that, so I guess what I want is bolts. I believe we have a ton of copper. I believe every copper bar makes 25 bolts.
Mm-hmm. How fancy.
Indeed. So let's say we want a stock of 75. Why not? Seems fine. All right, yeah, there we go. We have and we have put some good shit onto our goblets. I assume that this is one of the ones that has been spruced up, let's say. Oops, sorry. I know, I'm a monster. I bonked her like monsters do. I know, I know. Try to add like a few of those. And of course we can always just, you know, put our stuff in. All right, we'll request the broker at the depot and we will start looking at our shit.
Yeah. Actually, no, I hate looking at our shit. Blah.
I know, I know.
Humbug.
All of our stuff is being used for bars. Yeah, a few of those will be good. And then we got cut gems. Yeah, there we go. We got some rubies, and I'll probably throw like one of them in to help sweeten any sort of deal we might want to make. All right, so yes, we've got about 300 currently. A little weird. I'll probably end up, yeah, we're encrusting more stuff with gems. I guess that one probably got rubies on it. And like, look at the specific cups and like the specific items you've brought in. Slightly fun and annoying. Let's see. Yeah, it's worth 200 and it's got tiger iron. To turn out instead of 1,000, they're all worth 200. That would be kind of unfortunate for me. We can, of course, also trade some of our silver stuff. Or, silver bars. Hey, Bull, thank you so much for the raid.
Dwarfs, dwarfs, dwarfs.
We are dwarfing. We will continue to encrust these goblets. Don't have a huge amount of stuff currently, is really the big thing. But hey, whatever we can get from the traders is good. Tower cap crutch that we are encrusting with gems. Sure. Well, let's see how much stuff we want. They've got steel bars, but that doesn't matter for us. They've got some instruments. They've got a mule and a water buffalo. Got some donkey's milk.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
What do we get from a goose? Eggs?
I don't know if we get anything from a goose, to be honest.
What? We don't get, like, delicious goose eggs? Damn.
I know, terrible, right?
But it's a goose.
It is a goose. We got cave wheat, we got red sand. We got a lot of sand.
You get eggs from geese?
You can
yes,
get eggs,
yes,
okay.
Yes, eggs. Geese, eggs. Makes sense, makes sense.
Yeah, I haven't gone into, like, a lot of the stuff, because as you may have noticed, there's a lot of things you can do, and you can sort of just ignore
complicated
most systems.
Apart from the ones where enemies come in and can kick your ass.
Yes. I'll get some meat for the fort, because we don't really have that much meat.
Meat.
We'll need
panda lung.
thing to cook it. Yeah, a delicious panda lung.
Panda lung.
Well, there's also a prepared louse brain here.
I'm more objecting to the panda.
Would you like any honey badger liver?
Again, panda. What's pandas ever do to you?
Be tasty. I'm getting looks for some reason.
Where's Disamuba? Where's the cow? I don't think we have it in this one. That's if you can't. We don't have it on this source. But I'm giving him the eyes right now. Get that right now on Panda.
Just a moment.
Yeah. You're buying Panda lung. You're terrible.
I don't have to buy Panda Lung if you don't want me to.
You're buying it.
Pet the goose.
Had you even thought about buying Panda Lung?
Wonderful.
You're dreadful. We've seen pandas at the zoo. You pet that goose and think about
I did pet the goose.
Think about what you've done to that panda, you monster.
I could buy an enormous corkscrew or a large serrated disc.
Okay, both good things, I guess. I wonder if I have a panda plush.
That's a good question.
Probably not here. Maybe at home.
Wow, they brought an awful lot of cheese with them.
Cheese. Dwarven cheese.
I don't really know what Dwarven cheese comes from.
Considering
I don't want to know what Dwarven cheese comes from.
Everything else is the animal where which the cheese comes from. I'm pretty sure they milked some dwarfs for that.
These things do happen. Would you like to try some Dwarven cheese? It's more expensive.
No, it's too expensive.
So a big thing here is, like, you do want... The traders only come out if they're going to make a profit. So you do want to overtrade them. The color of this basically determines how, good it is.
Sure.
For you. Or, like, how likely they are to accept and
Apparently
how much they like it.
our efforts are legend.
Apparently, yeah. Get a petrified woodbound codex.
Thanks, I love a good pun.
All right, well, I think we can basically give them the goblet and the rubies that I brought up here.
That sounds good.
About 2,000. They seems like they'll like that quite a bit, considering we're only taking 600 back. But we'll get a decent amount of food out of that. Some more barrels. We should start hunting soon.
Anything else you'd want to nick from them?
I was kind of looking through it. I'm not sure there's anything super particular.
Iron picks. I don't know if they're better
I
than
could get
copper.
an heirloom here. Picks are weird because I think the material of the pick only really matters as a weapon. Instead of as a digging implement, which I know is strange.
Sure.
Your dwarf's proficiency is basically the only thing that determines that. But I think we've got most of what we want. I mean,
so it's okay to give them like way more value.
Yeah, I mean, basically, yeah. Like, it makes them happy with you. It makes them more likely to work well with you. I think as our dwarf gets better, we'll get better at telling what's a good amount for someone and all sorts of things like that. It's probably not a bad idea to buy some clothes, but we also are doing okay for right now. And eventually I'll get a textile industry going. Maybe. But I think I'm good to trade this. I don't think there's anything else that I'm like super into, or at least that I wouldn't have to. Like, we don't really have much money. There's a lot of stuff that I would take for sure if we had more money. But since we don't, we'll just get what we have, or what they have. Wonderful. Thank you for your business. Poor analytical ability. It's probably fine. She trades on vibes. I have no idea if meat needs to be cooked, but it seems like the kind of thing that would happen. We should probably put a kitchen up. And hey, if we've got a goose, I might as well build a nest box, right? Ah, okay. So you sort of like pick the tiles that it goes on. Yeah, so we need to make a nest box. Got it. We can make an adamantine nest box.
Hell yeah. Woo!
I know meat's prepared in a kitchen, but like, does it have to be cooked before it can be eaten, because I believe fish can be eaten raw. I'll make a rock nest box. Only the finest nest boxes, it is true. Definitely take a look at what my animals are. Yeah, we do have a lady goose. Not much else in terms of things that might lay eggs. Alrighty, so... Ah, this guy, the outpost liaison is just chilling in the temple right now. And, oh, some migrants have arrived. We're at 19. Is that everybody? Yes, looks like it. Okay, so we now have 19 dwarves in the fort.
Oh, hey.
Let's see, we've got a metal crafter, which is good. Oh! Wow, our new arrival is a legendary metal crafter.
Oh, wow,
So
okay.
a thing to know, like, just kind of an easy thing. If someone is flashing, that means that they are legendary in that skill.
Oh.
Or at least in what, usually it's whatever thing they are. But we do in fact have a legendary miner, because you will always get a legendary miner just from the amount of digging that you do at the start. So it looks like we've got 2 new children.
I think meat can be eaten raw, but it rots really quickly.
Okay, so we definitely want to cook.
But yeah, you can eat raw meat. It could be a vampire, oh no. Check that legendary out. The 2 lovers, heck yeah.
Dwarves have big families.
Oh, but
A passing acquaintance with the outpost liaison.
that's fair.
Only 21 years old, already a master crafter.
Values peace and eloquence. Disdains perseverance.
Yeah, unassertive. I don't actually know what would indicate that someone was a vampire. But yeah, you get a ridiculous number of relationships, which is always pretty funny. I will start building our bedroom block as well. Need more doors. Got some delicious raw mussels here. Main vamp checks if someone is drained of blood and another dwarf literally never drinks. Got it. There we go. We got our nest boxes. We'll put there. Ah, the number of children is the tell.
I don't know if they had many children.
Doesn't look like they have any children.
No.
Probably safe. Oh, we'll definitely want to make more crafty type workshops for them.
Like, young legendaries you have to kind of watch out for because they could be vampires.
That's pretty funny. Don't really have a specific place to be putting this. Yeah, there's sort of just a whole lot of things that can happen, and there's still, like, a lot that they're looking to put into the game over time as well.
Mining.
We do be loving mining.
We'll have to stop now, though. It is 9 o'clock.
It is 9 o'clock. Wow, the time really does just go. Alright, well, unfortunately, we are going to have to leave that fort until the new year. Because we are done streaming for now.
Yep, man.
Yeah, G-Up seems like a good one. We are basically, I think this will be our Thursday game for question mark knows how long. We're gonna ride this fort. We're gonna see what sort of horrible disaster befalls it. That will likely be on Thursdays in the new year. And I mean, thanks everyone for coming to our streams for another year. Really have enjoyed it. We may do more streams before the new year comes. We don't really know what our plans are.
I don't know when we're coming back.
We'll tweet about it on Twitter if Twitter continues to exist. We'll try to keep up with these kinds of things. We're hoping to start like actually publishing a schedule on a regular basis, but we'll see how it goes. But
we do have a schedule under our...
We do have a schedule. Do you keep it up, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly.
Sometimes.
Mostly. I'll go with mostly.
That's a good way to put it. Anyway.
Merry Christmas, everyone. We're gonna host Sean over to G-Op. I think he's Mr. G-Op.
Indeed. Yes, I believe so. Alright, well, see everybody later. Have a good night. Strike the earth, everybody.